Hi, everybody. Happy April 24th. It is a Wednesday. I was invited to dinner, birthday dinner yesterday for my niece who turned 24, um, with her and her family and boyfriend. And so I moved yesterday Zoom to today. I don't get to see Allison very much. She turned 24. She's a nurse at Ohio State who works nights and full time, and she's also going to school part-time at OSU to become a nurse practitioner. So when she texted me on Monday, I guess it was Monday evening or dinner time, I thought, well, let me check and see what I can do. And I went and I did something new for the first time. I had sushi for the first time. Now, Allison and her family love sushi. Um, so felt pretty confident going with them. And honestly, I opened the menu and I thought, I don't know what anything is, closed it. And I said, what do you recommend? And that's what I did. And everything I had was good. So, yes, I will try it again. Um, so, I guess it's a lesson. It's never too late for us to try something new. Um, First of all, just very, very quickly, a couple of things to mention. Um, there is there are new color coach cards that I downloaded in the Mary's Mary Stamper group um, just this week, 2 days ago, I think. And please note, they didn't just add the new in color cards, they've revamped the whole collection of color coach cards, meaning that whatever the three um, color combinations of a particular color were in the past or on your last set of cards, there is a new set of three color combinations for each of the cards. And of course, they've included and interspersed the in colors into all that as well. So take a look at that. I've wanted to make it easy for those of you who do use those cards to find it. And like I said, I uploaded them to the Mary's Mary Stampers group this week. So check that out. Um, big recruiting promotion or join promotion is happening in May. It starts May 1st and goes through May 31st. So it's the entire month. Um, People who join will choose their usual $125 of product and pay just $99 plus tax, get it all shipped free. Plus, Stampin' Up is giving them $82 worth of um, in color products. So it doesn't cover all of the in color products, but um, an assorted pack of cardstock, the Stampin' Right markers are in there, um, the DSP, and the 5 ink pads. So it's a great way to for us to promote that, um, promote joining our team, promote joining Stampin' Up, becoming part of our community of stampers and Stampin' Up enthusiasts, and for them to get a discount on future purchases, which I like the timing of this because they can get some great in color products. But then with the new catalog here, hopefully that will entice them to order some new products and get them at discounts. Now, I don't know if anybody else is doing in color clubs on our team, but I did want to talk about that for a moment, because I do in color clubs. And in the leaders group today, there was somebody who said she was not happy with this join offer because she felt it would take business away from her in color club. And I did think about that and question that. Um, and have kind of just put it on the back burner thinking about it. And I thought, well, I've already advertised for my in color club. And I think I already have 9 people signed up. And I haven't checked in the last 2 days how many more have. Um, And, if one of those people came to me and said, "Hey, I'm going to go for the starter kit deal instead," I'm assuming they would join with me since they are my customers and they were purchasing the In Color Club series from me as well. Um, and then I also read a response to this woman's question or her comment. And a demonstrator that I highly respect and admire, Stella McKay, who is from Northern California. I can't tell you what city, but it's Northern California. Um, she responded that maybe, maybe not, because we all have those people that spend more than enough money to stay active quarter after quarter, year after year. And we may have asked them, some of them several times, or suggested that they join to get that discount. And some just will not and don't want to join for whatever reason they choose. Okay. Um, a lot of times I think it's they don't want to commit to something, or the fear of being pushed into selling, that sort of thing. But for whatever reason they choose, they don't want to join. Others are maybe putting those In Color products on their list, and then they see this wonderful join offer and think, oh, maybe that's the way to go. I can get some of those products free, $82 worth. And then on top of that, I can purchase the other products I want from online or the new catalog and get a discount. So I think it can work both ways. And Stella's end result is kind of what I was thinking my end result would be, is that I would continue to market my In Color clubs. And in addition, I will share the join offer with that special collection of In Color products valued at $82. Hoping to catch people on both sides. Okay. Um, so wanted to mention that. The other thing is Creativity Now. That's an online virtual event for demonstrators only, is happening June 22nd. Registration is open right now. It costs $35 to attend the virtual event. And you will have the option to purchase a bundle and or suite, I believe, that will be in the September to December catalog. And presentations, some of the presentations will center around that. And then there will be other presentations and presentations interspersed with those new product demonstrations. So again, it's $35 for the virtual event itself. And you can watch along, you can recreate the products with whatever projects with whatever products you have at home, or you can opt to purchase the new products that they'll be using. And again, those new products will be from the September to December catalog. I think it's a lot of fun. I did it last year. I had a few people here with me when we did it together, and we had a really great time. I would love to do that again. However, on June 22nd, we are celebrating Riley's first birthday. So obviously, I need to be at that. But I am opening my home to view the video together and to offer some alternative projects with those new products. And we can kind of recap what happened during or in the Creativity Now, because we can watch that video. So if you want to come to my house on June 29th, the hours will probably be like 10 to 4. And I will have lunch for you. I will have a few additional products or projects for you. And we might even have a prize or two given away. So think about that. I will send out the official announcement about it after I get back from the incentive trip. So it'll be like the first full week of May. I get back on the 4th. And we'll go from there. So if you want to mark on your calendar, save the date, June 29th at my house for a Creativity Now recap and some product demonstrations and maybe a game, prizes, lunch. It's going to be a fun day. I did just see an update today that said the metallics and the basics embossing powders may not be ready for the catalog or may not be available for the catalog launch on May 1st. So just be aware of that. As of today, that's it. Those only two products that may not be available. And the last thing I want to mention before we go into the two topics I have for today are another accountability group is starting through Stampin' Up. Rita Holmes has done some accountability groups. If anybody else on the team has, I'm not been made aware of that, but I know Rita has and has had some really good success with it. And by success, I'm meaning she's connected well with the group. They continue after the accountability group time period ended. Their group still meets together, I believe weekly by Zoom. And I think that says a whole lot that they've connected in that way and they continue to be accountability partners for each other. But this new program, this new group, is called Stamping with Others Accountability Group. So there's going to be a lot of discussion and suggestions, ideas, brainstorming about bringing new people to your business, getting new customers, and how to put together an event to keep them coming. You know, what kind of environment will you be welcoming people to as stampers? And registration for that is open until April 28th. And you can get the details on the Stampin' Up updates from April 23rd. Okay. Holly did put in a request that we talk about what are some ideas of gifts and little things we can do for customers to let them know that we cherish them, that we appreciate them. We like their support and value it. So we will talk about that. But before we get to that, I want to give some thoughts and observations I've had about the clearance rack. As you know, there was a clearance rack refresh yesterday on April 23rd. I did get 2 orders yesterday that included some clearance rack products. Actually, I take that back. One was all clearance rack products. The other was somebody purchasing the Earth and Elements suite, which you know will be retired very soon. And then today I got another order for a single punch. And it wasn't even a punch that's on the clearance rack. It is retiring, but it is not discounted. And that's all she ordered. So thinking about these things, and I'm one who tries really hard to always look for the positive. And I used to be a reactor, and now I would like to take, I guess with age, with maturity, and life experiences, I've learned that it's good to, instead of reacting so quickly, it's good for me. I don't know if it works for everybody, but it's good for me to sit back and really think and try to see the same situation from different angles or different perspectives and to not react so quickly. And what that does is help me find the positives in all these situations. Um, so, and the other thing before I go into the what's and whys and whatever, um, I would consider this clearance rack and the last few soft clearance rack refreshes. I kind of like that word. I think Julie DiMatteo used it. It was a soft refresh, meaning it wasn't huge. It wasn't pages and pages and pages of retired product or clearance product, discounted product, like we've seen in the past. Okay. And so then people react with, well, it wasn't worth even advertising for one page of new items added to the clearance rack. Um, and yes, it takes time to market and advertise all the different things, not just the clearance rack refresh, but all the different things that come up in Stampin' Up, especially this time of year. We're so busy out with the old and with the new, you get it. And this was one more thing. But I started to just kind of sit back late this afternoon and think, what does this say that we don't have nearly as many items on the clearance rack? One thing it says to me is that Stampin' Up! Is doing a better job of managing their inventory so they don't have to discount as many products, um, which I appreciate. Um, I think, and Stampin' Up! Has talked to leaders about this, and I've tried to share that information as best I could. But they are trying to manage inventory. They don't want loads and loads of inventory sitting on their shelves and then things don't sell as planned, and then they have to discount it and put it on the clearance rack later. And I know there are times that we're waiting on products, that sort of thing. I would rather wait on some products with an estimated availability than to know they've over purchased and have too much inventory and I'm selling to my customers, but gosh, in 4 months, they're going to see all this stuff or a majority of it on a clearance rack. So to me, it says the fact that we didn't have as many items on the refresh, and we haven't for the last few. It's been a long time since we've had a huge clearance rack refresh. This tells me that they're doing a better job of managing inventory. It also tells me that I believe my customers, your customers, Stampin' Up! Customers in general, have learned that, especially with the changing times, everything since COVID, shipping issues, blah, 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 they have learned that if they really want something, they need to get it while it's available. And they're not waiting to see what gets discounted after at the end of a catalog period or whatever. More and more people I find are, and this isn't everybody, of course, but I would say the typical usual repeat customers have learned that if they really want something, they're going to get it when they see that it's available. And they know that if they wait, there's a chance that they won't get it. So I think this maybe says a lot about that too, which I think is a very positive thing for us doing this as a business. Now, as far as those couple of orders I got yesterday, the one name I didn't really recognize, but I think she's placed orders with me a time or two in the past. But the name that came up today with the person who ordered that single double oval punch, nothing else, and it wasn't discounted. It is retiring, but it's not discounted. I started thinking about that. Well, gee, she paid $7.95 shipping to get this $22 punch. And then I thought, no, wait a second, step back, don't react. And I thought, okay, well, it's another $22 um, in my sales for the month and the quarter. And that $22 order put me in another level of volume rebates. So the small orders we get are of value to us all. It's not just those large orders. Of course, we all want those large orders. But many times, and especially in this economy, I know I'm cutting back on my spending. Many people I know are. And I think we're seeing that across the board. Everything has gone up in price, not just Stampin' Up. So people are picking and choosing where they're spending their money, whether that be out of necessity or caution or desire to save, whatever. But what that told me, what that order for $22 tells me is, number one, she still remembers me. I don't think she's ordered from me, and she was never a big orderer. I've done a couple parties in the past for her friend group, and I know their spending habits. All of them order very, very, very infrequently, and they're typically placing minimal orders. And I don't mean to say that in an offensive way. I don't mean to say I don't appreciate that. It's just my understanding of their typical spending habits with me. But I have not heard from this person since I moved here, which is perfectly fine. And I know that that's not a reflection of just me moving away, because she wasn't a big orderer before. I rarely saw her or heard from her before, but she had attended open houses and different things like that. But it tells me she still remembered me. She wanted something, she sought it out in my online store. She put me down as her demonstrator. So even though she doesn't order frequently or order a lot, she has still been loyal to me and still appreciates me. She's still on my email list. I checked. So she is getting my emails. But sometimes people are lurking in the background. We don't know who's back there if they're not speaking out, if they're not commenting on videos, if they're not responding to emails, if they're rarely purchasing, that sort of thing. But here's a perfect example of, and I've always said, you never take anybody off of your email list unless they ask you to, or unless they remove them themselves. And of course, if they ask you to, we're going to do it. But I never take anybody off my email list without them telling me. Number one, they have with Constant Contact, they have the option to unsubscribe at any time. Number two, here's a perfect example. Somebody's been on my email list for years, probably from the start of my business. And this one order popped up today. So if I had taken her off, I wouldn't have gotten this order, most likely. Okay. And I think that's really important to know, that not just the value, the dollar value of the orders, but the people who are coming to you because they like you, they trust you, and they want to support you. Okay, so just some thoughts on that. Let's see if there's anything else here. Oh, the other thing I want to mention about the clearance rack and discounted products, last chance list. Sometimes we're actually um, marketing to different people with different types of promotions. My um, most frequently buying customers, they're buying what they want when they see it or when they need it for a specific project. They just go for it. Other customers I have really only shop discounted products. Um, they might only shop the clearance rack. So don't be discouraged if if they're buying from the clearance rack, but they're not buying from in the regular catalog period, lots of products at full price. Because again, all of those sales add up for us. All of them make a difference. Just like in Stampin' Up, every demonstrator plays a part in the success of the Stampin' Up company, whether it be the top business builder or the people who are ordering just the minimum to stay active and enjoy a discount, and everybody in between. We are all important to the success of Stampin' Up. And Stampin' Up did not tell me to say any of this. It's my observations. We all need each other. They need us and we need them. And I think it works the same way with many of our customers. So keep that in mind. I know it can be a lot to do like a last minute thing and have to advertise or send an email for something like the clearance rack, because I know you're all so busy. I know you are. Okay, that's all I have in my notes about that. So let's talk a little bit about gifts for customers. And I wish more of you were on so that it just isn't me, because I know there are lots of great ideas out there floating around among you all. But Holly asked, could we get some ideas and talk about things that we can do for our customers to show them that they're cherished, they're valued, they're appreciated. And I think that's a little appreciation, not just in Stampin' Up, but anything in life. A little appreciation goes a long, long way. And since nobody else is on here with me to share their ideas, I'm going to share some of mine, what I do on a regular basis, and then things I have occasionally sent to customers or gave as a gift at an event or class or something like that. And, this is just the tip of the iceberg. All of you have fabulous ideas. And maybe we should even start a post and let people comment and post pictures of things that they have given as gifts to their customers, their stampers, that sort of thing. So number one, I'd say, the majority of us, we're card makers. And most of our customers are card makers. And what do they like? They like free cards, whether they use them themselves just for ideas or if they send them off. Okay. So I used to do this and it was a lot to keep up with, but I now have Andrea. That's one of Andrea's tasks now, is to send out the thank you notes. And what took me so long was I was trying to write a personal note in every single one of these. And as much as I encourage personal notes, I just couldn't keep up. So I have a postcard that Andrea pulls a card, any kind of card, and I have lots of cards in my stash, and you probably do too, puts this postcard. I had them made through Vistaprint, but you could even print some at home. And I will share a picture of it and the message I have on there. And she puts that on top of the card and then puts in envelope, addresses it, that sort of thing up on my board here. She keeps track of the last, because she knows how to get into my order history for their names and addresses, things like that. And then she'll mark the date and the last person she sent an email, thank you note to. And I've gotten great responses from these. People are loving it, and it's so simple. Other things I've done or others have done, at times I've given as a thank you, or, heard you're having a bad day or you're going through a slump. Here's a little something for you. I might take a stack of DSP, maybe 6 different sheets, and I will cut at 4 inches, and then I cut at 6 inches, and I will send them 6 or 12 of these. And when you think about it, a sixth of that would be what? $1? Does that sound right? A sixth of it would be like sending 6 4x6 pieces would be like sending 1 sheet out of a pack of 12. So it'd be like $1, some change. Or $2 if you send 12 so that they get to use both sides of the DSP. That has been a big hit. And it doesn't have to be necessarily be current. If you want to promote, or there's a lot of talk about a certain DSP, you can certainly use the current DSPs, but there is nothing wrong with sharing some of your retired DSP. Helps you clean things out, and it lets others know that they're appreciated and gives them a little something to create with. Other things, any kind of like chocolate or treat or suckers that you decorate with Stampin' Up! Products, or stamp a little something on, and they don't have to be fancy. You could stamp a cute image or sentiment and punch it out with circle layers and stick it on that, Valentine sucker, or a little fun size candy bar wrapped in DSP. And you do have to think if you're mailing or if this is something you're giving in person at a class or an event. Because obviously what you mail is going to be different oftentimes than what you are handing out in person, or even dropping in their bag when they come to collect their Stampin' Up! Order from you. So think about where it's going and then kind of build on that. Some other things I've done is if I have a pack of retired embellishments, and then I try to sell, Andrea sells my retired products. And you probably have some too. And sometimes there is that one customer that you think, wow, that was the nicest email she sent me. That is so motivating, encouraging. She's showing me appreciation. I want to do a little something for her. Or I've had customers who have been very ill, or for whatever, maybe going through a life tragedy or circumstance, and they're finding it hard to create. I can send them a little retired package of embellishments. And if you're a business builder, you write that off as a tax deduction. But that, $7, $8 package of retired embellishments isn't doing you any good sitting in a bed at home, but it might do somebody else a lot of good. Give them the little push they need to get back to their stamping. Let's see, what else? Oh, I have something, and this is from Tracy Dalling, and I thought this was a good idea. So she has these mini, gave out these mini, what do I want to say, emery boards, or nail files. And it's something that like you can use if you get a fuzzy edge on one of your cuts, you can just glide it over that and it takes care of that. Or while you're sitting here listening to a video, you can file your own nails, whatever. But that's a fun little thing you can buy on Amazon. I also received this handy little ruler. One thing I did at a Creative Escape weekend as a little gift, and I wasn't sure it would be a big deal, but it was. I got clear plastic rulers, 12-inch rulers off Amazon. I put some DSP onto an adhesive sheet, and then I cut it into, I believe, 1-inch strips. And I just adhered that to the back of this clear plastic ruler. And I see people pulling those out at the event, using them. They keep them packed with their supplies, their crafting supplies that they travel with. So that was a fun one. I think I don't see, I received from Beth Jones once, and it's not even open. This came years ago, but it's not even opened because I still, because I already had a couple that I was still using. So I figured I have to save this for later when I really need it. But the adhesive remover, you can do little packages of candy and wrap them, in a little cellophane, put a ribbon on and maybe a stamped tag or sentiment. And those things go over big. I don't know why, but they do. I've done candy sticks that way, just took 3 small candy sticks, wrapped a ribbon around them and tied it. And gosh, I'm not even sure if I put something stamped on there. I don't remember. I'm looking around because I can't keep everything after, especially when I moved, it got to be just so much. Um, but I'm looking around here. Here's something that Vicki Center on our team made for a swap years ago, but it's a little backpack. And I found out how to make it, and I made a couple. This is a little more intensive, labor intensive. So you wouldn't want to do it for necessarily for a customer group of 60, but you might do it for 6. Okay. Here's something fun. Now again, this is not labor intensive, but there's some cost to it. This is a little plastic jar with this design cut out of the lid. Came like that, I'm sure. This is from Jackie Mayer, and then she put some twine in there for baker's twine, one black, one white, and you can use it like this. And then you just pull out the baker's twine as you need it and use it. It's just a fun little thing, a little bit of paper, a little bit of stamping. But of course, there is some cost in, and you can probably get jars even smaller than this, but there is some cost in the jar and the baker's twine, of course. Sometimes, speaking of baker's twine, this just kind of came to me. We have baker's twine that comes in a 5-pack now. You don't have to give a whole pack of something. You could give just one of those. You could split it up among 5 people, especially the basics. Those are colors we're always going to use. Everyone can use them. So that would be an idea. Just wrap it in maybe a little cellophane and tie some ribbon at each end of it. Or you can wrap it with a piece of DSP or make a cute little envelope that it drops into, that sort of thing. And right now, that's all I can think of. Oh, in the winter time, once I did, and it was for a Creative Escape weekend, so there was a theme. But there was a hot chocolate packet. And this is back when we had those little mini coffee cups. You don't necessarily have to use the coffee cups. I don't think I even put anything in the coffee cups, but they used them for a project. But the theme was around all that, the hot chocolate cookies theme. And so I got packs of hot chocolate, single packs, and we put a little tag on, a little bow, that sort of thing. That went over big. Same thing with a candy cane. There's all kinds of cute ideas to give a candy cane. And again, you don't think it's a big deal, but it's not necessarily about the thing you're giving so much as what it means to the people that you took the time to do something like that for them. Um, I also found on Amazon the little Biscoff cookies like you get on the airplanes. And we had a stack, I think, of 2 or 3 of them. We wrapped in DSP and then stacked them together and tied a bow around them. That was a huge hit. Anything like that. Um, and a lot of times you see these ideas at the holidays, but it doesn't have to be a holiday. It doesn't even have to be a specific theme. Somebody I know, um, well, she's no longer a demonstrator, but she always had a little something handmade. It could be a single Ghirardelli square of chocolate um, that she would maybe stamp and punch a sentiment on, or a pretty image, or wrap it with DSP and a bow, but any little thing. But she always had something for each person that attended her class. And her classes probably ranged, I would say, from 6 to 12 people, 8 to 12 people. So it wasn't a whole lot of time and expense for her, but it went over big. And a lot of times, these little gifts that you give um, are often then duplicated by the person receiving them. It gives them an idea of what they can do. Maybe they belong to a book club, or maybe they're part of Meals on Wheels and delivering lunches to elderly people who can't get out much or are in need of meals. And they might enclose a little something with it. Or they have young children or young grandchildren and want to make a little treat for their birthday party, or the soccer team, or the class, whatever. So a lot of times these little gifts that you're giving, um, little handmade things, are inspiring other people. So I hope this helps you. Holly, especially, I hope this answers your question. Um, this is just the tip of the iceberg. And if there were more of us, we could go on and on and on and on with ideas. Oh, another one that just popped in my head was single water bottles. And you make a little hanger and you put in like a lemonade packet, or oh, what are they called? I don't know, but the little powders that you put in the water bottles, you shake it up and you got a flavored water now. Those are always a hit. Um, Wine bottle tags, if, and of course you're probably not going to do, that's more of a big gift. Um, but maybe there's somebody in your club that's been in your club for 8 years and she's moving away, and the group wants to do a little fun night for her at her last club night. That might be something that you would do that for. But you can do the same thing for the water bottle with little wine bottles that you did with um, the water bottles. And I will caution you, I am extremely careful when it comes, and I really think long and hard about providing any alcoholic beverage, um, for liability reasons, of course. I don't ever want to offend anybody. And I think really the only time that I have provided any kind of alcoholic beverage would be maybe at my open houses or my team dinners. And I did a punch or something like that that may have had some alcohol in. Um, but I would caution you against something like that unless you know the people really, really well, or they're close friends of yours. But again, the message behind, oh, Stampin' Up! Pens. I don't know why that's such a big deal, but it's a big deal. Or I'm trying to think of the name of the company that I've purchased and got personalized pens, and they were very inexpensive and they're very nice pens. I put Stampin' Piece VIP on it, and maybe I forget if it was my website or email or something, or maybe just the name of my business. I don't remember. But you can look for things like that on Amazon, online, little notebooks, maybe just a tiny little notepad that you've made a pretty cover for. That makes a nice gift. But like I said, the possibilities are endless. And that may be something fun we do together through a Zoom. Maybe we each make 2 or 3 different things and then get on to the Zoom and share, and people can post directions or whatever. But I think that would be a fun thing for us to do as a group. And that's all I have for tonight. The one other thing I want to mention is that I would love to see more of our team members participate in the Business Builders group. Now, if you're in this, it's because you had told me you had an interest and I added you. I purposely do not add the entire team to this Business Builders group because I know so many of them are hobbyists and they're not interested in this. But anybody on the team can join at any time. They just have to tell me and I add them to the group. There's nothing to it. There's no pressure. You don't have to perform at a certain level. You don't have to do a certain number of events or sales. It's really just about, as individuals, we want to take another step forward, whether that step be big or it just is small. So sort of like a better your best kind of thing, but it's a chance for all of us to discuss and share together and learn together and grow together, inspire one another. And it's not all about me. I don't have all the answers. I wish I did, because I certainly would be sharing it all with you. And think of it, if we all had the answers, we'd be rich and we would just be playing and having fun and traveling with our craft supplies and that sort of thing. But there's always that growth process, which is a continual process for us, really all of us, I guess, definitely me. But I bring this up because oftentimes I've asked questions of people on our team and who've never expressed an interest in joining the Business Builders group. And I'm thinking, okay, the question you just asked, and I'm happy to talk to them one-on-one, and I do that a good bit. But I want us to maybe bring those people in to this group. So if you are having a discussion with somebody on the team and you think they would benefit by being a part of this group, please say that to them. Whether it be they want to try their first class, or what's another example? They've only purchased Stampin' Up! They've never sold to anybody else. What are the first steps? If people are asking you questions that they want to do more than just being their own best customer, this is the place for them. Together, we can all help each other out. And I'm going to be talking to somebody tomorrow, and she came to me with some questions late last night, and I was gone most of today, but I asked, could I call her later tonight or on Thursday? So I'll call her tomorrow. But I'm going to remind her that this group would be a great place for her. Okay. All right. I will see you on the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays of May. I will be in Mexico next week on the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip with Emily. We're excited to go. And we're focused on resting and relaxing while we're on this trip. Um, but I think it's going to be great. And I'm excited to have that one-on-one time with Emily. And so I will not be doing my usual Mary's Mary Stampers first Tuesday um, Zoom. So, and being that we are now past April 22nd, Facebook is not allowing Zoom to stream to Facebook groups, only to profiles. So that is a problem. Um, well, I guess it is and it isn't, but the only solution I have to that is people need to come to the Zoom, or when I stop the recording of the Zoom and I let it do its conversion, and then I take that and post it to um, the Facebook group. However, that's not always that easy because of the length of the Zoom. So a lot of times it means then I have to download it to YouTube and then take that URL and bring it to the group um, and work it that way. So it's a little bit of a roundabout way. It's not the most time efficient way of doing it, but that really is the best I can do. So Zoom is where it's at. Um, Facebook has gotten very, I don't know, they're always changing. And they have decided that they do not want to allow third party streaming to Facebook groups for various reasons. I can speculate some different reasons, but I don't actually know the real reason. But that has taken place um, as of yesterday, April 23rd. So keep that in mind. I hope lots of you are watching the replay. And if you are, thank you. I appreciate your time and hope you appreciate my time as well. Have a great night, and I look forward to getting together with you again. If you need anything from me, please ask. I'm always here to help as best I can. If you need to get a hold of me while I'm on vacation next week, the best way would be through email because I will check that daily. And have a good week. See you soon.